Hey Canucks fans, we now have details for the new contracts for Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson. Let's break them down. I'm Canuck Clay. I'm the founder of the GLCPC, the Good Looking Canucks Positivity Club. This is my Canucks take all in one take. It's Clay's Canucks commentary for Sunday, October the 3rd. If you're new, this is what you should do. Hit the subscribe button now for daily Canucks insight that's positive, timely, and trustworthy. As always, this vlog is brought to you by Perform and Transform, personal training and weight loss. Sign up now for a free 7-day trial in the link in my video descriptions. And speaking of working out, weight loss, fitness, that's what I was just about to do my workout right now when I saw Darren Dreger's tweet. That's why I got my goofy athletic glasses on, if you can call them that. Got my shirt on, and I'll be getting my workout right after this. And I'm still doing my Ask Me Anything vlog. I'll do that later today. And in that vlog, I'll talk about where I'm going to be sitting at the Canucks game if you want to come see me and hang out and chat during the first intermission. But we'll do that in today's later video. Right now, I want to talk about the contract details for both Quinn Hughes and Elias Pettersson, as tweeted just a few minutes ago by Darren Dreger of TSN. So let's start with Quinn Hughes. 6 years, 7.85 AAV, which is the average annual value, comes in a shade under 48 million, of course, because 6 times 8 is 48. So at 7.85 comes in under 48 million. But this is how it breaks down over the 6 years. First year, 4 million. Second year, 6.5 million. Third year, 8.6 million. Fourth year, 9.5 million. Fifth year, 10.25 million. And the final year, $8.25 million. Add them all up, divide by 6, and you get to $7.85 million per season. Why does this matter? It actually, to be honest with you, it doesn't really matter, because if the Canucks aren't going to move Quinn Hughes, then you don't have to worry about, the other team doesn't have to worry about what they're getting and how much they're going to owe him an actual salary. And there isn't anything too crazy here. It's not like it goes up and down and it 4, 6.5, 8.6, 9.5, 10.25, and then it drops off a little bit to 8.25. So it basically builds quite consistently for the first 5 years and then a small drop off in year 6. To me, that's not really saying much, because I think we're more interested in what it's going to look like over the first 2 or 3 years, because we know that at the end of this season, Brock Besser has to sign. We know at the end of next season, Bo Horvat and JT Miller and Jack Rathbone have to sign, or Rathbone might be this year. Regardless, we got Besser this year and then Horvat and Miller next year. And remember, AAV, that's what counts to the salary cap. But when you're looking at real cash too, that's a consideration. So it starts off relatively small, 4, then 6.5, then 8.6. Elias Pettersson, that's the more interesting one because of what's called the qualifying offer. I'll get to that in a second. So Pettersson, we know it's 3 years, 7.35, so $22 million, 22.05, so a shade over 22 million. And he has a $1 million signing bonus, and then his 3 years go 3 million, 7.8, and then 10.25. Again, 3, 7.8, and 10.25. So much like Hughes, you see Pettersson's contract build as it goes. You take away the $1 million signing bonus, and next year this year his true salary is only $3 million. Of course, it's 7.35 against the cap. But what's really important to know is that the actual cash outlay for this season is only 3 for Pettersson and 4 for Hughes. So $7 million cash outlay between the two guys total, which is pretty good if you're looking at from the cash standpoint. You got to think that Aquilini and the team has brought on a lot of new contracts, especially a contract like Oliver Ekman-Larsson. There's $7 million there. I don't know the actual cash structure, but the good thing is you can tell that Aquilini has loosened the purse strings and has basically told Benning, you can sign contracts and do things where we can spend some money. But typically, this contract is backloaded. Now, it's only 3 years, so there's not enough time for it to go for a huge dip at the end. And Pettersson wouldn't want it to because of this, the qualifying offer. Whereas Hughes is an unrestricted free agent at the end of his 6-year contract, meaning he can negotiate whatever rate after that. Pettersson's different. At the end of this 3 years, 3 plus this ELC of 3, it'll be 6 years total. So he'll still be a restricted free agent. So just like we had to do with our restricted free agents last time, you have to offer them what's called a qualifying offer. And the qualifying offer, under the new rules, it's the lesser of 120% of AAV or the final year of his contract, whatever the lesser is. So in Pettersson's case, his AAV is $7.35 million. 120% of that is $8.82 million. So the qualifying offer to PD, meaning we retain the rights to negotiate with you, is going to be $8.82 million, 120% of his AAV. It's actually the lesser of 120% of the AAV or his final year salary of the contract. But we just learned that the final year salary of his contract is 10.25. So it's either 8.82 or 10.25. It's the lesser of. So his qualifying offer has to be at least $8.82 million. So that's the starting point for Pettersson's next contract. Now, why does that make a difference? Well, under the old rules, it would have been $10.25 million, because under the old rules, it was actually 100%. After you make a certain amount of money, it has to be at least 100% of your final year salary, which under it would have been 10.25 for Pettersson, but that's only if this was the old rule. So Brock Boeser actually falls under the old rules. His AAV is only $5.8 million. So 120% of 5.8 million would be about 7 million, but his final year salary is 7.5 million. So that's why Brock Boeser, under the old rules, we're expecting a qualifying offer starting at $7.5 million a year, whereas PD's under the new rules. So instead of 10.25, it's 8.82. So I think that's a very, very fundamental key, very important distinction that we need to make. So if you see anyone talking on Twitter and saying, oh, because his final year is 10.25, that's his qualifying offer. No, his qualifying offer must start, or can start at 8.82, which is a lot cheaper than 10.25. We'll get into this in 3 years from now, but there's a small chance that PD accepts his 1 year qualifying offer and then he plays for $9 million and then becomes an unrestricted free agent after that 7th season. I don't think that's going to happen, but that just shows that you have to try and lock him up to an extension sometime during that 3rd year and not let it get to this point 3 years from now. That's why I think they're going to try and negotiate with Brock Boeser during the season and not wait until that qualifying offer. Because Boeser could do the same thing, right? He could take the 1 year qualifying offer and then become a UFA after this season actually, and we certainly don't want him to do so. But we're talking about PD and we're talking about Hughes. So the bottom line, Hughes, his 6-year contract makes sense. It escalates all the way consistently, and then year 6 dips a little, but it's still 8.25. PD, it ramps up considerably because only 3 years. 3 million, then 7.8, then 10.25. But the biggest thing you need to know is 7.35. That's his average annual value. And then the qualifying offer owing to him is 120% of that. So there we go. There's the breakdown. It just shows, like typical contracts, that you're not spending a lot of cash up front, and then that cash, gets larger. That amount gets larger as the contract goes on. We expect the salary cap to move up, maybe not a lot, but at least it's going to move up going forward now that we're getting out of the pandemic, or at least from a hockey standpoint, we are back to normal. And that's why the Hughes contract is so good, which I talked about a couple of days ago, to lock him in at 7.85 for the next 6 years. As the salary cap goes up, that means proportionally, he's not going to take as much of the salary cap, so we can do other stuff with that money. And for PD, 3 years, 7.35. Simply, he's going to outperform that contract over the next 3 years, and then we'll see what kind of massive contract, monster contract he's in line for when those 3 years are done. All right, Canucks fans, let me know in the comments below. Firstly, did you understand all that? Because I don't use any graphics, so you have to just kind of go by what I say. And secondly, does it make sense to you? And more importantly, do you like the structure of these contracts? I will link to Darren Dreger's tweet in the description so you can see these numbers as you're watching me or listening to me. Shout out to my hero members, nucksfan number 29, Justin Credible, Lucas Gates, and Andrew Chang, and my Hall of Fame members, Jens95, Simalexander, Chris Seifried, Adam Broomfield, and Shannon Hollingworth. Thanks for your support, and thanks to the support of all members of all levels. If you want to become a member of the CCC Crew, press the join button underneath this or any of my videos, or on the memberships tab on my YouTube channel. Subscribe if you'd like to. Like this video if you like to. Become a member of this channel if you like to. And leave a comment down below if you like to. What do you think of the structure of these two deals? Going to the game today, but I'll do an Ask Me Anything vlog before that. And I'll reveal where I'll be during the first intermission if you want to come and say hello and chat Canucks. All right, friends. Have a great day. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. God bless and go Canucks go.